Hello Internet Land. Short video today, launching a new project, something a little bit different, not related to my photography. If you're interested in my photography, I got a few other videos you can watch. A new project, I'm going to have a series of videos of me building something this time. The idea for this project started a while back, a few days ago I guess. Started thinking about my youth and how I spent my youth in the 80s. You a child of the 80s? Let me think way back. Man, I miss those video games. Spent a lot of quarters in those arcades. It was a lot of fun though. I really enjoyed it. Well, got me to thinking I could make my own arcade machine now. So that's my goal, is to make an arcade machine that I can play all the classic games. I've tried some of the emulators on a PC, but I find it's the joysticks, the trackball, the spinners, the real tactile feel is what really makes the games shine. So I want to build myself my own cabinet, play all the games, see how this goes. The other limiting factor is I'm going to try to do this on a budget. There's a lot of other videos out there of people building these arcade machines, and they're awesome. They're awesome machines. But a lot of them, they have a lot better equipment in their garage. Unlike me, they've got CNC machines and label printers and label cutters and this kind of thing. I'm going to try and do it on the cheap. Got $300. Don't know if I'll be able to make it, but I'm going to give it a shot. So we'll see how this works out in the end. Let's zoom up to the computer and then I can show you some of the plans that I've got started. Whew, operating takes a lot out of me. So let's talk about my plans for this midlife crisis project I'm working on. I'm not a car guy, so a Porsche won't do. I guess an arcade machine will have to do the trick to relive my youth. Alright, I started to do some research online for different arcade machines, different options, and there are some plans online. This one here, I downloaded it. It's a nice little desktop machine. It's got all your basics, joysticks, your controls, your screen, speakers at the top here. If you look around in the back, there's not much room in the back here to put your electronics. But this one's intended for a Raspberry Pi implementation, quite small, works great. I'm looking for a little bit more powerful arcade machine and one that has a bit more room for more controls, because there's certain controls you need. Trackball, can't play Centipede properly without a trackball. Arkanoid, Tempest, you really need spinners, so I'm looking to get those in there as well. So I'm looking at a bigger machine. Downloaded another model here, a little bit more full-size machine, your typical implementation. Again, just the basic joysticks, but there is room here. You could put a trackball in the middle here, maybe a couple spinners, one on either side. This is a lot closer to what I'm thinking of. If you look at the back here, there's room. Basically put a PC at the bottom, and then you got lots of room for your controls and your monitor and your speakers up there, and away you go. So what I did, I said I. What I did is I got my buddy Dale. Hi, I'm Steve's buddy Dale. To help me out. He's a whiz at SolidWorks. Spent, I don't know, half an hour, 10 minutes whipping up this model for me. So it shows a bit more of the control surface that I'm looking at. You got 2-player joysticks and the buttons, and then a spinner for each player, and of course the trackball in the middle. Fundamentally, this is what I'm after. You got the screen, speakers, and I'm looking to make this a little bit narrower so it doesn't take up quite so much space. You'll probably have to either put feet at the bottom or attach it to the wall so it doesn't fall over on you. If you look in behind here, you can see basically just put a standard PC box. I'm looking at getting an old PC or something nice and cheap. Don't need anything too high end. And there you can see all the controls for the joysticks and whatnot. There is one additional piece, this here, I don't know how clear that comes through, This I'm planning to have, let's see if I spin this around, a drawer here that pulls in and out. That way we can have a keyboard and a mouse. So if we need to control the PC directly or install some more games or whatever it is, we can control it that way. Close the drawer when we're playing. There's room at the top here for some kind of marquee. Not sure if I'll implement that or not, but again, looking for the cheap way out. One thing I do plan to have on the side here is I want to put a HDMI out. So if somebody's playing the game, we can have an HDMI signal going to a larger screen, so if there's anybody else in the room, they can watch the player instead of crowding around the one machine. Thought that might be a nice touch. So that's the plan. I think the cabinet, I'll probably just end up painting black. I know a lot of people do the full decals and all that, but I think that'll blow my budget. So the plan now is just plain black. Build a cabinet out of plywood, MDF, something like that. Just pick up some stuff from Home Depot and put it together. It should be okay and not too expensive. The PC, the monitor, the keyboard, I'm expecting I'll be able to find some used one from somebody. That there's lots of PCs out there that people aren't using anymore, but should be plenty powerful enough to run the main software. Speakers up here. Who doesn't have old speakers lying around? I got some in the garage. I'll just pick some and throw those in there, so that shouldn't cost me very much. The tricky part, I think, is these controllers. There's a few websites that I found that are really good for this kind of thing. X Arcade was the initial one that I saw. They have the parts. You can buy a ready-built tank stick. It looks like this. Or you can buy a DIY kit to build your own control panel and trackball. $139, but then it's $39 for shipping because I live in Canada, and then I realized that's US dollars, so it all translates out to about $240 Canadian, which is almost my full budget. So I'm currently on the hunt for other sources. The Linus Tech Tips video, he used joysticks and buttons from Ultimark. It's good quality, again, good quality stuff, just like the X Arcade site. But again, I think it's just going to cost too much for my budget. So I'm currently hunting around. I found a few sites. I'm working that out. If anybody has any tips or guidance of where to buy these things or a good deal somewhere, let me know, because I'd really appreciate it. If you have any other tips or suggestions for this project that I'm embarking on, now's a good time to let me know before I actually commit myself to any of these plans. I've put a bunch of links and stuff down in the doobly-doo of sites that I found that have a bunch of information, joystick sourcing, that kind of stuff. If you want to take a look, if you have any suggestions, let me know. If you like this project, want to find out how it goes, subscribe to me, and I'll make a few more videos as I work through the process. Thanks. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, then you'll get notification of any future videos I post. I'm in the Facebooks, I'm around the Instagrams, follow me on my webpage. We'll see you next time in the garage.